Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing great. Welcome to our next 5-day challenge, how to follow up like a pro and close with compassion. So every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to go ahead and post the next day's video. So I encourage you to watch it. I encourage you to take the daily action. This is all about implementation. Last week I came on and did sort of a mini little master class, if you will, on this topic. But it's not just about knowing what to do or hearing these concepts, right? It's about really taking the time to dive deeper and to implement. Actually gives these things some thought and actually get them up and running in our business. So that's what the purpose of this 5-day challenge is. Of course, the beauty of these videos is they'll stay on the page. So if you have a busy day and you miss a day, just come on back. But I feel like by listening to all 5 days of the training, you're really going to have a paradigm shift and you're going to be so much stronger when it comes to closing. So first of all, I just wanted to start today with reiterating the truth that so many of us miss because we are just so darn passionate about our products, so darn passionate about our business. We feel like everyone should be buying, right? Or everyone should be joining. Are they crazy not to? We've got to stop that thinking. That's when we come across as pushy. That's when we come across that we're not even listening to them. They're like, are you listening to me? I'm saying I'm not interested. I don't have a desire. I don't have a need, but we keep pushing. So let's understand the truth. Not everyone is an ideal client. I'll say that again. Not everyone is an ideal client. Do they even have an unmet need that they're looking to solve? Now, my business is health and wellness, right? So I should think, well, everyone has a life, everyone has a body, everyone can benefit from feeling better. But if an individual does not feel like they have an unmet need, or they might know they have an unmet need, right? They've got this illness and they're feeling horrible, but they're not looking at something else. They're not looking for a way to solve it. They're not at that point where they're willing to change, to do something different, okay? We also have to know it's all about timing. All about timing. Things are going to change. Their timing's going to change. And when the timing has changed, and they realize I do have this unmet need that I'm looking to solve, we want them to think of you top of mind, right? So when we're talking about following up, we're talking about the prospects we're following up with are the people who said yes. You've already asked them, are they open to learning more, right? That's all about prospecting. We've done 5-day challenges on prospecting and the language. And so we got to realize that these are people who already said they're open to learning more. Because everyone else, if they're not open to learning more or you haven't prospected them yet, they're sort of in this relationship building mode, right? Where you're having social conversations with them, Facebook Messenger conversations, you are sharing on your personal Facebook profile, you're doing Facebook Lives where you're just adding value to their life, which really is building that relationship. You're engaging on their Facebook Lives, on their posts, right? So that's relationship building mode. But again, we're talking about follow-up where someone was open to learning more. Also, I know we've talked about this before, but I just want to talk about who we're focusing on in this challenge, that your prospects, when you ask if they're open to learning more or you even share a bit, that 80% of the people are going to be these green apples. 80% of people, they are kind of sort of maybe slightly interested, or they're actually saying, not right now or no, because the timing isn't right for them. So they didn't flat out say yes, and they weren't flat out a rotten apple. So it's 80% of these green apples who they're like, oh, it sounds good, but not right now. Or they seem like they're a bit more interested on the fence or whatever. Most people are going to be these green apples. And we've got to know these green apples are going to take multiple exposures. You're going to see a huge range in numbers, but let's just say an average of 4 to 8 exposures for the average prospect to say yes. We're going to do one of our days, we're going to be figuring out what our exposures are. But when I talk about an exposure, it's sort of you keep dripping on them with a third-party tool. I'm not meaning, are you ready now? Are you ready now? Hey, we got a special now. Are you ready now? I'm talking about an exposure. They're learning more about what these products or the business can do for them. Okay, so it could be through a Facebook group. It could be through a 3-way chat with your upline or mentor or someone that has a similar situation to your prospect. It could be a video, a testimony describing how the products work, a success story. It could be a sample of the product, letting the product do the talking for you. It could be an event, an in-person event, an online event. These are different exposures, and people need 4 to 8 exposures. And many times, again, we're not even exposing them. We just assume that they know and want it, and we keep asking them, do you want it now? Do you want it now? Do you want it now? That's not going to work. Today's focus is going to be talking about how your prospecting and closing efforts are going to be so much more effective when how you start the prospecting process. So when you lead with your why or your purpose or the mission you're on, whatever words you want to use, basically when you lead, before you tell them about the products and the features and the benefits and all that, basically why you're even doing what you do. So this was a huge and powerful TED Talk. Simon Sinek talked about how people buy and make decisions based on emotion. But most of us are describing our business with the how and the what. You know, what the product does and how it works and how we're different and how this ingredient does this, or, you know, or what our differentiating factors are, whatever that might be. But we got to get to the inner circle, the why. He calls this the golden circle. And leading with the why, starting with the why you do what you do. So for some, this could be a challenge, really figuring out. Now, Bob Hiley calls it purpose-driven prospecting, that you're on this mission, this purpose to help people, to solve problems, and that's what's leading you, that's what's motivating you. But basically, again, why you do what you do. So there's 5 parts to it. First is figuring out, well, what was lacking in your life before? Why did you even say yes to the products and or the business? Was it time? Was it money? Was it a sense of security? Was it your health? Was it purpose? Feeling like you had something, you know, meaningful, you were making a difference. Can you give a specific example that was sort of the turning point for you? Why you started searching for a solution, why you're like, enough is enough. And how did that experience make you feel when you were dealing with this? Like, what were the emotions you had? Because remember, again, the emotions and the feelings are what will make this connection happen. They're going to remember the emotion long after the facts and figures. They're going to remember if they resonated with your story. Now, not everyone's going to resonate with your story, but they're going to remember it. Even if they say no, they're going to remember that story, again, long after the facts and figures about your product and what made it different and whatever. Now, how did your product or business solve that problem? Or gave you hope. Maybe you don't feel like it's 100% solved your problem yet, but you know you're on the path and you're confident it will. And now because of that, it should have fueled some fire in you, that you're like, oh my gosh, I had this issue, I don't have it anymore, and I don't feel content knowing there's other people out there dealing with these issues. I need to help them. I need to spread the word. Like, what's that specific contribution and impact that you're now looking to make, that you are on fire, that fire in your belly? This is where your prospect begins seeing your company, your products as the vehicle to solving their problems too. Because you're like, I am on a mission. I need to help people that are dealing with XYZ find this solution like it helped me. Okay, so let me just give you an example of how you might even share this. This is actually a very easy way to share and lead with your why before you get into the details. And it's called the indirect approach, where you're flat out saying, hey, this probably isn't for you. You could do the direct approach, the indirect approach, the referral approach, but here's such a great and easy way. So let's say Helen and I were talking last week about, randomness. We were just being social. And I wrapped back around with her. I said, hey, Helen, I just want to touch base and ask you something. I know you're probably not interested in my whatever products or business, or you would have probably let me know by now, right? Smiley face. But I just wanted to ask you a favor. Would you give me the opportunity to share just a minute or two right here in this message a bit about why I do what I do and the larger mission I'm on? Because someone you might know come to your mind who could really benefit from the solution like I did. Would you be open to me sharing? Either way is totally okay. there's a way that you can lead with your why. Now, Bob Heilig recommends that your why, that they hear it, You hop on the phone or you share it over an audio message, and that it be no longer than 90 seconds, a minute and a half. I gotta tell you, mine is longer. Mine is like close to 3 minutes. I do need to cut it down a bit, but that is what I lead with. And I've got a version if I'm gearing it towards the business opportunity, and I have a version if I'm leaning it towards solving their health issues. And I actually do already have it recorded. And it's great though to be able to do it, live, and they hear the authenticity. I do already have mine recorded. And I have mine recorded using the audio feature on my phone, the voice recorder, because from there, I'm actually able to forward it to someone through Facebook Messenger. And it could be one audio file if it's less than 3 minutes. So instead of it being multiple audio files, when you send it through Facebook Messenger, and it just looks like a Facebook Messenger message. It's not like a MP3 or anything like that. So if they said they were open to learning more, I'd say wonderful. It's probably easiest to record it. It's a super quick audio message. I'll do that right now and I'll be right back. Right? And then I'll wait a minute and I'll send them my audio why, so they hear it. And in that message it says, thanks so much, first of all, just for being willing, open to hearing a bit about this larger mission that I'm on. So you could see if anyone comes to mind. So I just sort of thank them and then I go on into it. And when I send them my audio why, I then follow up with a quick a message, like a written out message, and just say, if any of this resonates with you at all, there's a super quick, whatever your next exposure tool is. So for me, it'd be a 3-minute video. So that why is exposure number 1, right? The 3-minute video is if they were interested in the products. I have an 8-minute video if it's the business. But if we were talking more about health for this person, I would say, and if it resonates with you at all, there's a super quick 3-minute video that tells more about the specific products and how they work. Or I would say there's a super quick 8-minute video that tells a bit more about the company, the business, and how it all works. Are you open to taking a peek? So I'm just leading them to the next exposure if they're open, if what I shared resonated with them at all. You know what? It might not resonate with them at all, but you planted that seed greater than you could imagine. But they might say, no one comes to mind, or no, it doesn't really resonate with it. And that's okay. If they're not open, they're not open. But again, you're just sort of sorting for interest, seeing who has an unmet need they're looking to solve right now. All right, so for today, 2 things I want you to do. First of all, I want you to type this out below this post, repeating after me, because I want this to be a huge paradigm shift for us. Type out, it's all a matter of timing. My ideal customer or team member is someone who has an unmet need that they're currently looking to solve. Okay, it's all a matter of timing. My ideal customer or team member is someone who has an unmet need that they're currently looking to solve. So the second thing is start thinking through your purpose-driven message. I know it could take some time. I know it can take, dedicated time, scribbling out, redoing. It doesn't need to be perfect. I just want you to start leading with your why. It's going to get better the more you share it. And I've been sharing this. I've been doing purpose-driven prospecting since January, and I still feel like I want to tweak my why. It's just going to keep getting better and better and better and evolve. You got to start somewhere. But what I want you to just, at least to help start your thinking, is what problems did your products and or business solve for you? Because that's what you're offering folks, is a solution, not a product or a business, a solution. It solved problems for you, and you believe it could solve problems for other people who have these similar problems. Or again, maybe on the business side, it hasn't solved all your money problems or but you're hopeful that it will be your solution, right? For retirement, for this, for that. So that's what I want you to start thinking through and just jotting down in the comments below. Which problems did your products and or business solve for you, or that you're hopeful it will solve for you? All right, there you go, guys. Day 1, leading with your purpose. And can't wait to see what you guys come up with. We got a ton of fabulous stuff to cover this week. So glad you guys are part of the Yoga Pants CEO community. And you guys have a great day. Bye.